All right, today we're going to further our discussion with angles. We're going to review some terms and we're going to dive a little deeper into angles. All right, so let's review some vocab. Can you pick out the two sets of angles that are alternate exterior angles? Okay, hopefully you said angle 2 and angle 7 were a pair of alternate exterior angles, and angle 1 and angle 8 were a pair of alternate exterior angles. All right, so let's talk about vertical angles. What do we know about vertical angles? All right, hopefully you said that they are equal in measure and that the pairs of vertical angles are 1 and 4, 5 and 8, 2 and 3, 6 and 7. All right, let's talk about corresponding angles. What do you know about corresponding angles? Hopefully right away you're saying, well, they're equal in measure as well. And a pair of corresponding angles would be 1 and 5. Another pair would be 3 and 7. Another pair would be 2 and 6. And the last pair would be 4 and 8. All right, a lot of vocab, so let's keep going. We have alternate interior angles. Can you pick out the pairs and tell me what they are? Okay, alternate interior, the pair is 3 and 6, and then the other pair would be 4 and 5, and the pair of them would also be equal in measure. Bet you thought we were done with vocab. Nope, we have adjacent angles. What are adjacent angles? Adjacent angles are ones that share a common side and a common vertex. So if I asked you what an adjacent angle to angle 6 was, hopefully you would be able to tell me 5 and 8 because they share a common vertex and a common side. All right, last vocab term, supplementary angles. What are supplementary angles? And what do we know about them? All right, supplementary angles equal 180 degrees when added together. So if I have the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2, they would give me 180 degrees. Give me another pair of angles that would give me 180 degrees. There are lots of pairs of them. Hopefully you came up with another pair, such as 3 and 4, or possibly 5 and 6, or 7 and 8, or even 2 and 4, 6 and 8, 5 and 7, 1 and 3. There are a lot of pairs of supplementary angles within these parallel lines that are cut by a transversal. All right, so what type of angles are these? We have two angles, 70 degrees and 20 degrees, and what type of angle do they make? If you're not sure, pause the video and look up the vocab term. They are complementary angles. Complementary angles equal 90 degrees when added together. 70 plus 20 gives us 90. All right, this is a vocab term that we have already reviewed. So what type of angles are these, and what is the measure of angle B? Pause the video and figure out the measure of angle B. Did you get 145? That would be the correct answer. 180 degrees minus 35 degrees gives you 145 degrees. These are a supplementary pair, and when added together, they give you 180 degrees. All right, so I have three angles here. I have A, B, and C. What do we know about all three of these angles? So if I would take the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B plus the measure of angle C, how many degrees would they equal up to? Adding the whole way around. Did you say 360 degrees? If so, you are correct. All right, we didn't talk too much about quadrilaterals, but you should know that in any quadrilateral, which is a four-sided shape, there is 360 degrees. Think of a square. It has four right angles, and right angles equal 90 degrees, and 4 times 90 would give us 360 degrees. So here are a few quadrilaterals: squares, parallelograms, rectangles, trapezoids, rhombuses, but any four-sided shape has 360 degrees within the shape. All right, quick review. Any triangle, so any three-sided shape, has 180 degrees. So all of the angle measures within this triangle will equal 180 degrees when added together. So let's talk about some special triangles. We have the equilateral triangle. The equilateral triangle is called the equilateral triangle because it has all equal sides and all equal angles. And if it has all equal angles and all the angles in a triangle have to equal 180 degrees, we would take 180 and divide it by 3, and that would give us 60 degrees. So the angles in an equilateral triangle always equal 60 degrees. All right, here's a right triangle. The right triangle is called a right triangle because it has a right angle within it, and that right angle is always 90 degrees. Remember, never assume a triangle is right unless it has the little box in the corner. All right, now we have the isosceles triangle, and the isosceles triangle is special because it has two equal sides, and the sides that are, the angles that are opposite those sides, are equal in measure. So these little lines tell me that these are the sides that are equal, and these little measures here tell me that those are the two angles that are equal. All right, so what I'd like you to do is copy down this shape and see if you can find the measure of PQR. So we have triangle QRS is isosceles. So QRS is isosceles, and it's saying that QR is congruent to SR. So QR is congruent to SR. So those are the two congruent sides on the isosceles triangle. So see if you can figure out which two angles would be congruent. Then it tells you the measure of SPQ. So the measure of SPQ, this angle up here, is 35 degrees. And the measure of QRS, so QRS, this angle here, is 34 degrees. And it wants PQR. Now be careful, PQR is two angles put together. So you have to find the measure of two angles put together. See if you can figure out those two angles. All right, if you still are working, pause the video and keep working because I'm going to give you the answer. All right, so we can figure S, or angle RSQ, and angle RQS pretty easily. This is an isosceles triangle, so what we do is we take 180 degrees in the total triangle and we subtract 34 from it. That gives us 146. So if this angle and this angle here have to be equal measure, we take 146 and we divide it by 2 because they're equal. So that makes both of those angles equal to 73. Now I'm going to do some erasing. Alright, so I did some erasing. Makes this angle 73, makes this angle 73. And this angle here is still 34. Now, we know that this angle's 90 and this angle's 35, so hopefully you added those together and then subtracted from 180. If not, do that. Alright, so 90 plus 35 gives you 125. And then when you subtract 125 from 180, because there's 180 degrees in a triangle, you get 55 degrees. So this angle here is 55 degrees. But remember, it asked for PQR. So it asked for this whole group of angles together. So I need to add 55 plus 73 to get my final answer. So my final answer is 128 degrees. What's the measure of PQR? 128 degrees. Today you're going to be practicing more problems just like this.